And welcome back to episode 96. We're going to try this again. The Hit the Showers podcast presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and punk ass co-host, Malcolm Punk ass motherfucking King, because I ain't got nothing else.
Hey, Mr. Ruling on the Field, false start, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Right, yeah, I did. I false started and I lost my whole mojo. So that's what you get today. We got OG Mike Brown in the building. What's happening?
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing out there, showerheads?
And finally, we got the beautiful Brit.
Bengals
fan.
Brown Bengals.
Yeah.
Look, Brown Bengal.
Brangle.
Yeah, Brangle.
How y'all feeling?
Good shit.
Feeling good.
Listen,
It might not be a school night apparently, so that's always a good feeling. Shit, at least for me.
It's gonna be a school night for me, regardless.
They canceled all the school. What school your kids in?
Well,
No,
we talking about
I'm talking about work. That's me and Cliff's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, like, shoot, everything already canceled.
Shit,
Right.
I wish it wasn't a school night for me. I gotta get to it, baby. But we here to talk football, of course. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into them Bengals. That win. Britt was the only one that called that.
I was the only one. I thought,
of
Mike,
course.
Mike, you ain't called it.
No.
Hell
I thought I did. I didn't
Michael
call it.
Brown, get out of here. Talking about you thought you
My
did.
bad.
You
You know damn well.
Chiefs 15.
Right.
Okay. All right.
You know damn well he ain't call it.
Hey, well, I mean, did y'all see Patrick Mahomes though? Come on now.
I mean,
Come on. Did you see him the week before, and then you seen him this week?
I wanted to get into that, right? Patrick Mahomes. And
That's
for
what we
anybody
do.
that didn't watch the game, Bengals won that 27-24. And might I add, there were no wins on last week's picks. Everybody tied 1-1. Except for
because
OG
I didn't
Mike
pick.
Brown, you picked the Chiefs and the Niners, so you lost that one.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. West Coast.
You lost that one.
Yeah, you lost.
But I wanted to get into that, right? Patrick Mahomes threw 66.7% completion, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 91.3 QBR.
Right.
and I noticed something, right? While I was watching the game, like the whole entire game, I noticed Patrick Mahomes has a confidence issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very clear to me what was going on. He lost the game. Well, they lost the game. He lost his confidence, which led them to the game with that one play. I don't know if y'all saw it, that screen pass to end the half where he passed it to Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill down by the goal line.
On the 3-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first major decision that I saw, that major incorrect decision that I saw him make in that game. Where that just wasn't the right call. That wasn't the right call. If you're not going to throw it into the end zone on that play,
you better kick the field goal and just went on. You know.
Well, it's too late at that point. You better nut up and put your head down and run through the line. Do something, right? But that screen pass was not the best pass to make. And even the announcer said it in the second half. He said it just makes it. I feel like he hadn't gotten over that play that took us into the half, and I felt the same way. Like he was hung up on that mistake he made, and he couldn't get nothing else right for the rest of the game. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half, and in the second half, you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdowns.
Sometimes I be thinking they tanking these games, man. That be making me mad.
Because
the week before he was like. He's like, the week before, he like looked real good. Him and Travis Kelce, they wasn't dropping stuff like that. I mean, he was throwing over the man's head, like the running back out of the backfield. He threw over his head. Come on, man. Just a bunch of that, man.
I feel like it comes down to confidence, because nobody would tank a conference championship. You know how much money they get if they get the win and go on to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. The way that these offers coming out for these coaches, the tank no
ain't no. We gotta get into that. We gotta get into that. Yes.
We gonna get
25 million. You tank 25 million if you tank.
We gonna get into that. But Andy Reid ain't getting no offer to tank Kansas City.
No. I just didn't like the way he played there.
Past nobody at this point.
When he got sacked in the end.
Yeah, I feel like it's a whole new.
I feel like there's a bigger fan base of Kansas City fans than there would be Bengals fans.
You crazy? Wait till we win this championship.
But let's also think about where the championship takes place in LA, right? So you think you gambling that people is driving from poor ass Cincinnati, and I'm not saying everybody, so don't get offended. But you think people are driving, flying, and doing all that from Cincinnati all the way to LA?
Yes, I know. But I know people that.
But as many that would have from Kansas City to LA.
I would say
that's.
I would say this. I'm 50-50 on it, and it's for 2 reasons. One, with Kansas City, because they have gone more recently. There might be people that are just like prepare for that because they have Patrick Mahomes, and there's a good chance that you can go every year. So I'm 50% that way.
Right.
And then the other 50% is we haven't gone. So you got to think it's diehard fans that's like.
Hold on. You got me saying we. Hold up.
You said we.
I felt like I was talking about Ohio, like not we.
The Buckeyes,
right? Well, you know the area we.
Right.
But that's not my squad. But with what's the name? Bengals went with
But how long
Boomer
ago?
Esiason.
But again, you got to factor in time. So you could what was that, like 30 years ago? I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, 29 years ago.
Okay, so it was a long time ago. So you got 30 years since the last time you went.
And
so
they
people
went against San Francisco, didn't they?
Bengals, yes.
I think so. Yeah, I think they went against. That's ironic.
But the point is, they've been waiting. Like the fans have been waiting for so long that there's tons of fans out there. Like, listen, if we go to the Super Bowl, I'm going. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to factor that in there, and the fact that you got that's 30 years. That's 30 years of new fans. That's 30 years of fans that have not seen that. Like we're in our 30s. I was not into football at that time, so I have no recollection of that. So I just feel like it could be 50-50. I think they're gonna be out there. I know a couple people that was talking about going out there.
That's a very fair point. That's a very fair point.
Shoot, we in there.
I still don't think that. I don't think that the NFL would be thinking like that, right? Like, I think as far as tanking a season goes, I feel like they would be gambling on the safe bet, the Chiefs, that already planned for this to take place a couple of weeks ago, that are gonna be headed there more so than the people from Cincinnati. So I don't think from like a organizational standpoint it would make sense for them to be like, make sure the Bengals win. Nah, they wanted, like Mike said, they wanted the Chiefs and the Rams. That's the big ticket draw. That's the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao. Not saying those teams are on that level, but that's the draw out of the bunch that we had remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that Patrick Mahomes would tank at that level. You know, I was just being funny. So I don't think it was a tanking thing. Now, one thing I can say, watching the game with Patrick Mahomes, I felt like something was a little out of character for him, but then again, it's a high pressure game. But it was like that last drive that they had to the last drive they had, and I feel like it went down to like fourth down.
They went down in the red zone.
And he like held the ball. No. He got sacked.
Right.
He got sacked. And it was just like, oh my God, the stars are aligning for the Bengals, because it just like the way that play played out, it was just like he held the ball too long. And it's like, you can't hold the ball that long.
That sack?
No, I'm talking about the Chiefs Bengals game.
Oh, the Chiefs Bengals game. You're talking about okay.
I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. You're talking about him being out of character. And I'm like, listen, that last drive to me was very out of character. He held that ball so long as if he didn't know the game was on the line with a particular play. And he ended up getting sacked.
Yeah, sure enough.
Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. I don't know why my mind went to that.
That just struck me kind of odd, him doing that. You know what I mean?
It's confidence.
Normally, Patrick is like going forwards. He was going backwards.
It's confidence.
You know, and man,
27 touchdowns. 27 touchdowns, what, 2 interceptions in the playoffs in postseason?
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous stat, right? That's a ridiculous stat. That's like I mean, I'm not even going to compare it to anything. But what I will say is if you can do that, right, it's not the pressure of the postseason. You have some sort of mental, and I'm not saying like a issue, but you do have an issue there.
A mental block.
With confidence or not confidence to where, see, when you're a quarterback in the league, you have to be like a squirrel where you forget shit early, you know, like it's already out of my mind. Let's keep moving forward. You can't be hung up on a play that stopped you. And I know why the issue of the play was, because to Britt's point, that was the same score difference that they went into halftime with last time when the Bengals won. So I know Mahomes was thinking, if I can get one more touchdown, we can seal this win. And the fact that he didn't, he was probably already thinking in my head, I fucked up. But you still got a whole half of football to play.
And listen, I knew when the Bengals came back, and because listen, let's be honest, most people probably thought that game was over when the Chiefs were up by a lot. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was over.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say I wasn't in that boat. There was a piece of me that felt that way.
When it was 321 going, 321 going in the half, right?
No, it was because he had already scored. It was 10.
It was 21,
wasn't it?
I can see.
Because if I'm not mistaken,
maybe it wasn't going in the half, but they went up 3-21, and I think that they did score right before halftime.
3-21.
They were
and
up
I think
3-21 at
went
one
out
point
for like a little out route that he took 40-something yards to the end zone, and then that made it 10 or 11. 10-21, I believe.
Yeah, it went to 10-21. Now listen, I knew And I knew, I'm like, listen, they're playing. Joe is not doing his thing, but I just really believe in Joe. And I told my boyfriend, I'm like, even if they don't win this game, he's not going to let them lose that badly the second half. Like, he's not going to come out the same. Like, I knew he wasn't going to come out the same. So my thing was, and I was hoping that they score before halftime so it wouldn't be as bad, which they ended up doing. Like I said, it was just like the stars were aligning. Like, everything that I wanted them to do to win, it happened. They did it. Like, I knew if they tied that game up, it was a wrap. Like, I knew they were going to somehow win. I'm like, if they tie this game up,
I was feeling
they're
that
going to
same
win.
Way at that point.
Yeah.
I was feeling that same
energy
way.
Energy is a mother, you know what I'm saying? And I think that the Bengals just had the energy on their side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think they had that energy
they just kept
on their
playing,
side.
Man. They just kept playing.
My issue was, and let me stop before I do from all my shower heads out there. Joe Burrow threw 60.5% completion, 250 yards.
This for you, Joe. This one
2
for
touchdowns,
you, Joe.
1 interception, 86.5 QBR. He did lose the quarterback battle in that game, if you're counting statistics. But my issue with that was there was one specific touchdown to Jamar Chase where they ran back-to-back exact same plays.
Was it the one-on-one when it was like a jump off?
Right, to the back of the end zone. And it was like you ran the same play twice. You know who it's going to. You know who it's going to. You don't
necessarily. No, not necessarily. Because it's like, if they ran it once, it didn't work. And who's to say that a team is going to necessarily try it again? And it could be common in the NFL for teams to try it again, especially if they see they got a one-on-one situation. Like,
it is to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection. That's the only connection.
You wouldn't do. I mean, I don't think so. Because if I'm Aaron Rodgers, if I see that Devontae Adams has a one-on-one, I throw it up to him too. Like, I feel like if you know your best wide receiver has a one-on-one, I'm gonna keep throwing it up to him. I believe in you.
Which is all the reason why that shouldn't have happened. The second play is what I'm saying. That second play should not have taken place. It should not have taken place. I don't care if you leave somebody open on the opposite side of the field. They can get that touchdown. That's fine with me. He won't. He won't get it. And it was just
that's
like,
how
you know,
I feel
that's
every
where his
time,
eyes are going. You know, that's where his muscle memory's going. You know, that's his comfort blanket. Don't allow that to happen. Anybody else can score. Don't allow that to happen. Demoralize them.
I feel like they did a good job on him. Like, they locked him up.
They did.
For the most part. They locked him up. He didn't go nuts. But I was gonna say that's how I feel anytime like the Chiefs come to a close game and Travis Kelce catches the ball. I'm like, why are there should be two people?
Because it's Hill and
no,
Kelce.
hell no. I'm double teaming. Listen, he's getting double teamed at the end of the game.
At that last play when they was playing the Bills, you could have put 6 men on Hill and 5 on Kelce and just let the line do what they wanted. It's not going to anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. When he gets open, which he does often, I'm like, how is there not 2 people on this man?
But you are correct. Jamar Chase ended that game 6 receptions, 54 yards, 9 yard average.
They did a great job. They did a great job
22
on him.
long for 1 touchdown, and the 1 touchdown was that 22 long, that play that I'm talking about.
They did a great job on him.
It might not have been. That might have been like a 12 or a 15.
It was a close one. It wasn't 22. I don't think that was 22. It was a close one.
Yeah, but also gotta give peace to once again to Evan Money Mac McPherson with the walk-off win. Field goal, not the walk-off. I guess they had a little time left after, but that man hasn't missed in Bengals Stadium.
No. McPherson.
He hadn't missed in Bengals Stadium. Now, granted, he is a rookie.
No, they wasn't. They was in Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah, they was in Kansas City.
Right.
But I mean, I'm just saying in general, if you got a guy that ain't missed in your stadium,
still, that's high pressure, man. That's high pressure. That was a high pressure.
He's been doing that.
He's clutch.
I get it. But he has not kicked one that high pressure. Like, to get the Bengals to the Super Bowl,
Right.
The one to get them to the conference championships was a 52-yarder with 3 seconds left on the clock.
Right.
This one to me was harder. Just because
the man is clutch. They call him Money Mac.
The weight behind it. No, he did his thing. He did his thing. He did.
I like him. I think it's amazing.
I like his confidence. Yeah, right. I think that you got to be confident. Like,
I think it's amazing to see a kicker that's getting that much shine that early. Like, it lets you know he's gonna go down as one of the the Grammaticas and all the kickers of the ages that people don't really seem to remember.
Well, if my Bengals keep winning, he's going down.
If your Bengals.
My Bengals.
My Bengals.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna start saying it like that too. Like a soul food cook or something. My Bengals.
Listen. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about this episode, so we gonna move on. We'll move on to the next game. Unless does anybody have anything that round this?
No, I'm just kind of anxious tonight, Cliff, because I'm gonna get off here shortly. But I wanted to say once again, Brian Flores is a good coach.
Listen, you said it last. Okay? So since you get off, we'll touch on it.
We know he's a good coach.
And we might have just got confirmation of your statement that we shouldn't have had you renege on last week about him being a good man, because to throw the bag away like that, to make that move, to file that lawsuit against those teams, that's a tough decision, because you got to understand, with all the teams that needed coaches, you would have found your way somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that they making you jump through hoops like you do, which you don't appreciate clearly,
right?
I can understand why it puts a bad taste in your mouth. And I saw a post. My little brother shared a tweet. It was, and I was reading the comments, and everybody was like, "It's not about race. It's not always about race and all that shit." And I'm not the guy that jumps into the shit like that, because I don't argue with delusional people. But I had to post, right? And I just couldn't help but put, you're fucking delusional if you think the fact that the NFL only has one current coach that's black in a league dominated by black folks, and you just fired 2 of the active 3 you had. How is that not racism? How isn't it? Like, somebody, like, I would love for somebody to explain to me how the league has been around for how long?
Long time. I mean,
it's
what, the 30s or some shit, 40s.
Listen, we're coming up on 100.
Oh yeah.
And it was a different league before. We all know that, came to the NFL. But the fact of the matter is, in 2022, in a league that's dominated by African Americans, to only have one active black head coach and tell a motherfucker that's not racism.
I mean, even more baffling to me, Cliff and Britt, and for everybody out there listening or watching, is the whole scandal with the, hey, if you lose these games,
right?
The bribery,
$100,000 a game if you lose, and that you know what? It's funny to me, right? Because that made sense when they said it. Because if you remember, the Dolphins were shitty as fuck starting out.
Right, they were terrible.
Matter of fact, we even addressed it on the show. I think we said the Dolphins in Arizona switched positions midway through the season, where Arizona was undefeated for the first 8 games or whatever, 9 games, and then they lost all that shit. And it was vice versa with Miami. They lost all those games, and then you turn around and win your last 8 to go into the playoffs, that says something. That says that there was an issue there in those first 9 that you played. I don't know what it is. Nobody could quite put their finger on it. But when you say something like that, when you allege something like that,
right?
Let me change my
verbiage.
Right. But when you allege something like that, it starts to make a little bit of sense as to how that turned out to be that way.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is when I look at it and I'm like, it's kind of like, I don't want to say scary. I'm probably not, I can't find the word right now. But to me, this is probably something that has always been going on. So my thing is like, who is, because I don't think it's just one necessarily like one man. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably not the first black head coach that has threatened to sue or attempted to sue. So it's kind of like, who is letting these floodgates, like who's opening these floodgates to where this is, you know what I'm saying? Like not being swept under the rug.
Oh, well, that's
like,
to me, I feel like that's the current culture we're in.
Well, hold on though, because I feel like you're saying it's the current culture we're in. Right. I feel like I'm sure he's not the first coach to want to, you know what I'm saying, do something. And but my thing is like he's being backed in a sense. Like I just looked at something online that was talking about what's old dude used to or was it, maybe it was in a group chat, I can't remember. Who's the dude from the Browns? Hugh Jackson? Is it Hugh Jackson? He coached the Browns. He Bengals.
Marvin Lewis coached the.
Was him? No. He was. Marvin Lewis had brought him in. He coached the Browns, but then Marvin Lewis brought him into the Bengals. I think. Is it Hugh Jackson?
The name sounds familiar. I can't confirm.
Just Google it real quick. I think it's Hugh Jackson, but he used to coach the Browns. And he literally, I just seen a tweet where basically somebody came out and was like, Hugh Jackson did it with the Browns. Yep, and he was like,
Hugh Jackman,
he was backing him. Like,
no Jackson. No Jackson.
Yeah, so he's being backed. There's other people like presenting evidence like, hey, I did it here, they did it there, like, you know what I'm saying? So this is really about to blow up. Like this is about to be big.
Right.
And it's one of those things that I feel like has always been going on, but now it's kind of coming to the forefront. And I'm just like, who is allowing this to get, because I feel like in the past, the NFL probably would have shut these allegations down, would have made it hush hush, don't put it in the media, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like with that Epstein dude that got caught with the whole sexual allegations and stuff like that. Like that stuff had been going on for years, decades. And then all of a sudden it blows up and he's like in the forefront.
Well, see, when I say culture, you got to understand what I mean by that is we're in the social media age. It doesn't have to get put out in front newspaper, the press, or CNN. If somebody picks up on that, they do their due diligence and they search and they try to figure out what goes on just off of the fandom that they have for that specific person. And once you find certain points of emphasis, there is no turning back. Once people start asking questions like, well, this does seem funny, there is no turning back. Epstein went on for years because he didn't live in a era where everything was filmed and recorded. And now that one thing is, and we get pictures and the social media investigators start doing their research, that's when the deep shit comes out and it's like, well, that's something you have to address now. That's big enough to where you have to address that. I.e. the Michigan State doctor scandal, the Penn State situation, all of that comes to light, even though it's been happening for years because of the current climate, the current culture, the social media, everything involved currently.
And I don't want to get too deep into it Because I do feel like that's a whole topic on it in itself.
Yeah,
but I still feel like these are controlled sources in a sense, and I also feel like shoot, I just lost my train of thought. But again, these things went on for so long, and then I feel like, okay, right when, like, even with the whole like college thing and Joe Paterno and the kids and the assistant coach, like it went on for so long, and then it was like, all right, when he gets ready to retire, then we'll go ahead and put this out there. So I just feel like the gatekeepers, or whatever you want to call them, are releasing these things at certain points, and it's just like, what's behind it? Well, like with the whole thing with Gruden and his coach, like those emails, all that stuff, that stuff was old. None of that stuff was new. You know what I'm saying? And they decided to pull it out then. So it's just like, what's the point? Are they trying to get rid of some of these people? Is it somebody in the Dolphins organizations and some of those other Giants organizations that they want up out of there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really behind it? And that's my conspiracy side. I gotta be conspiracy Brit sometimes.
I mean, listen, and I can't say that I'm not with you on there, because we all know that nothing is as it seems. There's always an ulterior motive behind every action that takes place. And you may be right. The fact that they are allowing this to be as big as it is, because they were talking about it on ESPN 24/7.
Yeah, come on, man. Listen, NFL would have shut that down a long time ago.
They said that Belichick texted Flores to
I seen the text.
That the Brian, what's his name, dude? Brian,
Belichick thought he got it. And then he responded like, "Are you sure that was me and not the other guy?" And he was like, "Hold on, let me check." Basically, and was like, "Oh, my bad. It was the other guy." Yeah. He just seen Brian and assumed it was him. So he basically was using that as proof of like, hey, y'all already had this set. Like, I just went for the interview. And he was like, oh, like.
I feel like Belichick is a potential ally, right? I feel like when you're behind all the shit that happened with the Patriots, we know how calculated your moves are. We know you're a defensive coach to begin with. So you don't make mistakes like that unless you're trying to out someone. Oh, I just saw it as Brian. I didn't see the last name. I apologize. No, yeah, you did. But that was his way of alerting him to let him know, you see what kind of fuck shit they doing to you. But I can't tell you that.
Yes and no.
I can't tell you that because I'm Belichick. But what I will say is, oh, I fucked up. I didn't look at the last name. My fault, G.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be true.
That's underhanded in itself. It doesn't sound like that way in a bad way, but it sounds like underhanded, like you were trying to give more information, but I can't. My hands are tied. I just messed up on the name.
Now, let me give another side to that, too, because this is what I thought when I read it. But that's conspiracy, Cliff, and that could be a smart way to get it out there. But I also think that it was one of those things where, it really didn't pertain to him, so he might not have given it that much attention, but he just checked to check.
That could be.
And automatically in his head, he knew who the better coach was. So his mind just automatically snapped to the better coach. Like, okay, I know Brian Flores is the better coach. So when he seen Brian, he just immediately assumed it was him.
Yeah, I know.
And that's respect to respect. Like a good coach to another good coach. Like, oh yeah, that's a better coach. So I'm thinking it's him. And then he didn't really check the details, like, again, because it didn't necessarily pertain to what he got going on.
Even beyond that, I do that with names all the time. Like, I confuse Tannehill with Taysom Hill, and like it's just the way
Jason
my
Tatum
mind connects. So I could definitely understand somebody automatically assuming, but
the better coach won. That's how I took it. But again, it could be taken your way too. Either way, we'll take it. It's going to help his case. But like I said, with the other coaches coming out and kind of backing it, you know what I'm saying? That is going to be helpful as well. And it seems like a lot of people are behind them. But I'm kind of looking at the other coaches like the Hugh Jacksons, like, man, you was a sucker. You a sucker for real. Because now, first of all, you didn't say nothing. You took your money. And now he coming out and is like, oh, okay, now I see he's brave enough. Now I can be brave enough to say what I got to say.
I mean, I can't judge. You know what I mean? I can't judge because, like I said, the first thought that the first, well, not the first thing, but one of the first things I said was confirmation that he is a good man because you threw the bag away.
No, he ain't throw the bag away, and I meant to comment on that too. He ain't throw
Unless
the
he
bag
wins,
away because he could be on his Colin Kaepernick. Settle me out afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Like, so
But
he's not
did
necessarily
you read
throwing the
his
bag away.
statement though?
No, I read the statement in the sense of like he wasn't going. Like, I'm not going for that. Yeah,
Well,
he's
it
not
was.
going to accept.
I'm more so thinking of like how he was saying his love is he was blessed with the ability to coach football, and that's his love, and he knows by coming out and doing this, he may be risking being able to
Yeah, I read
continue
this. I
doing
read
his
the
love.
statement.
So I mean, I look at that as you. I mean, don't get me wrong, because immediately when I heard that, I thought of the contingency plan for him, because the best bet would be to pull a Deion Sanders and hit one of them HBCUs up who are coming up currently as we speak, prospects committing to as we speak, which means that the coaches' salary is going to be going up for those schools once they start getting recognition, and that's not a position that would turn you down for what you did in the NFL. Either way, you're good.
I don't think that
if you don't win this situation, but go ahead.
I feel like he can still coach in college, but I don't think that's his goal. I think he wants to coach at a national level. He wants to show his skill set there, which to me is a different skill set than in college. We've seen that with Harbaugh.
I agree.
So I feel like that's not. He knows he can take that route. That's why he ain't tripping. He can get a job for $100,000 coaching college somewhere. So his thing is, I want to
be able to do that.
Well, he feels confident in himself, and if he's that confident in himself to take it to this level, I feel like he can win if he's given the right tools to win, where he's allowed to win.
I think
so.
Oh, good. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, so but I was just going back to you saying like he's fumbling the bag, like, or he's throwing the bag away. Like, I don't think he's necessarily doing that.
It's not about throwing it away. But it's definitely rolling a dice, postponing with a dice roll. Because
as far as getting to his goal,
right? You could have got picked up by another team if you shut up. But what I'm gonna do is roll these dice and see that I might not, hit my sevens and get.
He could have got picked up by another team as what though?
As a coach,
head coach. No, as a head coach, or they would have did him like they did.
No, I think he could have got picked up by a head coach. With all the teams that are coming into this current situation needing coaches, it's kind of hard to ignore someone that's already been in the position. Especially when you're bringing, like, you're interviewing.
But that's what they're doing, though. So who's to say that they wouldn't continue to do it? Look at the we were talking about this before this season. We were talking about how the coaching staff for the Bucks with Bruce Arians had brought in all them people, and we was like, hey, they are legit. They were legit because of those black coaches that they had that should be head coaches. But they got them coaching fucking defense, or they got them coaching the quarterbacks, or they got them offensive coordinators, or whatever it is. These are head coaches that they are deducing to one single role. You're head of this particular role, but you're not the head of all the coaches. So who's to say that wasn't the role that they were going to try to make this man go into? Like, oh yeah, we'll take you on as a coach, but you can only be the offensive coordinator, or you can only be the defensive coordinator.
They could have done that, but I feel like, and this is just my feelings and opinions, but I feel like that would have been very hard to do with a man of that caliber.
They're doing it.
They have been doing it, but they have been doing it, but I feel like it almost makes your case better if you allow them to do it again and then come out and sue. But to roll the dice before you even know if you could have got picked up by somebody else, that almost kind of, in my mind at least, strengthens the Belichick argument, right? like Belichick was the tip-off. That was the tip-off that gave you enough time to start reaching out to other players, to other coaches that have been in that situation, to see if they would be willing to speak out. Because like you said, it is a pile-on that's happening, and that sometimes happens organically. But a lot of times you need to know that you're going to pile on before I'm the guy that comes out and does this. And especially if I'm going to do this before all of the coaching opportunities pass and I find myself as an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Then it would make the most sense. But the fact that he did it now lets me know that there was some sort of play in the background long before. He was probably working on it as he was being told, we'll give you $100,000 to blow these games. He was probably like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Let me talk to the other nigga coaches I know to see if they went through. Yep, bro, I did too. I just didn't say nothing. I kept the bag.
Well, my thing is like, okay, so that's in the back of his head, but in his lawsuit, or what is potentially his lawsuit, I mean, okay, so let me ask you this before I get to my point. How many open coaching positions, head coaching positions are there this year?
We know the Saints, we know the Raiders.
No, Raiders got filled, cutting Josh McDaniels.
Right, but just recently.
No, Brittany, are you talking about currently how many there are open?
Currently, before what did he do? He had to just.
Well, I'm saying as he was in the pool, he had already been fired, right? So that job was open as he had been released. Is why I counted that as well.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Okay.
The Texans.
Yeah.
No, I want to know. Okay, I want to know like today. Don't go in the past because he.
That's what I said,
right? So
that's what I said. You want to know right this moment?
Why I included the Raiders at this moment because he was fired. He had time to get that job as well, or interview for that as well. But at the moment,
the reason why I'm saying at the moment is because he just filed. So if he just filed, this was already determined. So if in his lawsuit, which was the point of why I wanted to know how many was left, in his lawsuit, if he names 5 teams, then he probably only got about 3 teams left. So there is no point in waiting till you get to that last team before you file. Like if it's only like 3 teams left that need a head coach at this point, and he's already been through, like I said, it was about 4 or 5 teams on that thing, right?
Right.
It was about 4 or 5 teams on his.
Well, 3 I heard of. I heard the Miami. I heard the Giants. I heard the Broncos. They just said in others, but I don't know who else was involved.
I think there were, like I said, I think it was like 4 or 5 teams that he is suing that he applied for head coaching positions and didn't get them. They were already like predetermined, and I could be wrong. I need a fact check.
They probably don't really know. Well, they would have to. It was a 58-page manifesto or whatever.
So let's just say it was 5 teams. Let's even go lower. Let's say it was 4 teams that he is suing, right? There are not 20 available head coaching positions.
Right.
At the most, there's maybe 10. And he's at 4. Most of the other ones are probably already filled.
To prove your point, what I think it comes down to is once you've been through that process, you understand that a lot of those owners of the teams operate the same way. And if I'm not going to get it with them, I'm definitely not going to get it with them or them or them. Because that's a lot of the reason why. That's a lot of the reason why Kaepernick never got a job, right? There were teams that needed a quarterback that were like, we're interested, but we can't really pull the trigger. Well, why can't you? Unless you spoke to other teams and they were like, don't.
Because you ain't about to. It's a what is the term? What's the term when basically not a buddy system, but it's a close knit group, right? You don't want to be the outcast of the group. Like those owners,
mean, like a skull society type shit.
Yeah, those owners are operating in the same way, even though they're different people. You know what I'm saying? This is a clique of some sort to be an NFL team owner. And you don't want to go against
what's the one dude, the Indian dude that owns
The Jaguars.
Is it
Khan,
the Jaguars?
Khan.
Listen, I know they don't want that motherfucker in there with him, but they got to because he got the money.
Yeah, he owns Khan and he owns a wrestling promotion.
And you see he playing ball too.
Yeah,
even as the minority, he like, listen, I'm still gonna do what y'all, whatever y'all rock, I'm rocking.
Because you don't want to be on the outside of that group. You know what I'm saying? That society or however you want to put it. You don't want to be on the outside of that group.
But who cares if I got the money? I got the money to be with y'all. I don't care.
I mean, it's about keeping the money too. You know what I'm saying? Like
what else did you say he invested in? He ain't worried about that.
Yeah, he got a wrestling. So he's actually in competition with Vince McMahon and them. He's got a competing wrestling promotion that competes against WWE.
Yeah, motherfucker like that ain't just worried about
what
that.
The AEW or whatever.
Yeah, Britt. He owns that too. Yeah, Britt. That's exactly it. He owns that. Yeah, he owns that too.
That's what's up. Yeah, keep promoting that. You know what I'm saying? I get my
But I get what you're saying.
My
that's
cousin
not NFL money,
but I'm just saying, like, to me, you know, the money that the NFL and NBA, these teams generate. Like that's probably the best money he make. It's probably stress free. You know what I'm saying? Like it just keep rolling.
He just got
and like I said, that's control. Like even if you don't even look at it, like look beyond the money. That's a whole that's a big control mechanism. You kind of control part of your city in a sense. Like it's power in owning a NFL team. So my thing is, who wants to,
for that matter?
Yeah, who wants to relinquish power, especially
outside
with the NFL and the
soccer,
NBA?
MLB ain't really doing.
It's hella power in that. It's maybe not in the U.S., but
that's what I'm saying. The World Cup is different, but the U.S. League, I don't know how many crew games motherfuckers is attending.
A lot.
Well, they must be attending a good amount for them to build that new. For them to build that new stadium,
that lower stadium, man. Listen, we ain't even gonna get into soccer because the crew was up last year. They didn't do good this year, but the crew was up last year.
Cuddy, they won a championship like a couple years ago. We just talked about. Remember I told you like a couple years ago.
It was like a year. They didn't do it this year. They didn't do it this year. That's why I said the crew was up.
That's money. You win a championship. That's money, right? That's more sales. But we know how that motherfucker was rocking when we drove down 71 when they first came to the city, and we know how them stadiums look like high school games.
Did you see that?
Drove by a few years later.
You see lower field? You see that new stadium? That shit I ain't been in it. Nice.
Ain't nobody been
in it yet. Ain't nobody been in it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice.
I drove by that.
Man, that shit nice. Like I ride by it like I want to be in there. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in there. That mug nice. The lighting, the all that, the way they got it set up, that mug nice. But anyway, like I said, you don't want to be out. You don't want to be out of, you don't want to relinquish power. And that's how I feel when it comes to the NFL and the NBA. You don't want to be the odd man out in those situations. You don't want to be the nigga that lost. You remember when he used to own the Rockets? You don't want to be him.
What's his name?
The dude that they did the Clippers.
I said 76 Brian Sterling.
Yeah. He pissed somebody off. To me, it was more than just that incident. He pissed off the other owners. He did some shit. He pissed off the other owners and they got him up out of there.
Right.
Brought up some old racist shit. He said,
the owner of the Clippers. When he
Brian
said
Sterling.
his wife shouldn't be hanging around Magic
Johnson and shit. They all probably done did some racist shit. Every time I look at the owner of the Mavs, I'd be like, man, I know he want to say some racist shit. He just looked like he just looked like he want to say some shit.
I think Mark Cuban is the closest to.
He's a minority.
Yeah, I think he's the closest.
He ain't no damn minority. Listen.
No, he's not a minority. That motherfucker came from
tell
Shark Tank. He ain't no motherfucking minority.
What you mean? What's your boy? Your boy who invented
He probably told them motherfuckers my name is
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, it's on there.
Cuban.
Yeah, like I said, Mark, he don't own no NBA team. He ain't got Mark Cuban money. But like I said, I can just tell you remember when the whole thing with the Sterling dude happened? And they was asking him about his thoughts on it, and I could tell he wanted to be like, man, just leave him alone. Give him a pass. Like I could tell he has some sympathy for old dude, but he was just like, you know, he played it cool for his own money's sake. But I felt it. I felt it like just say nigga, just say it.
Right. Because you know they do.
Just say it. I can tell.
You know they do. You know they do.
Listen, you gotta give him some credit though. He said black something, but he ain't say nigga in the text message. And you know if motherfuckers ain't worried about text messages, you hear what I'm saying?
Right. Tom Brady ain't worried about text messages either.
Tom Brady said it.
Married in him, he ain't. Listen. He about to run down the N-word list. Oh shit! But all I can say is God bless and Godspeed. But I do feel like, without getting too deep into it, because it's already a heavy conversation. Like you said, it has happened in too many others in the past. Who haven't gotten the opportunity to come out like this, so I wish him the best in his fight. I'm behind him.
Right. I mean, good luck. That's all we can say. I mean,
because we know the Rooney Rule don't work, so let's at least get the Flores Rule. That sounds Hispanic. At least we getting further from black, so maybe that'll work. Maybe the Flores Rule will work. Because we know the nigga rule ain't working. That's just not going to work in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean,
New
I don't think Flores...
with the Flores rule. Include the Hispanics as well. We might get somewhere.
I don't think Flores is worried about the money.
Clearly
only because he said that this is bigger than any, like, this is bigger than the football or the coaching. He's like, this is just, this ain't right. He said his plan, I've seen him say a quote that he wants to stop this, like they all say, going forward for future generations.
Right.
Where
it's absolutely insane that we are in the year 2022 and the NFL can say we only have one black active head coach in the league.
And isn't there an incentive policy as well? I thought there was an incentive policy. Remember last season, NFL was going to incorporate for teams.
Listen, I don't know.
To hire minorities.
I'm sure it's not enough for them motherfuckers to give a fuck.
Right. Clearly, yeah, they don't.
Like Britt said, when you generating that much money, you think that any incentive policy is going to benefit them to the point that they're going to be like, yeah, we'll get a black person in as the head coach. Nah, that don't work like that.
Right.
That don't work like that.
And
the bottom line is, if all the niggas got up and walked away, as far as sports entertainment, motherfuckers would have checkers.
Man, they would lose hella money.
You wouldn't have nothing to watch. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's crazy that we're still dealing with this in the year 2022.
Well, I don't think it's crazy that we're still dealing with it, because it's clearly a ongoing thing, and maybe we don't recognize how deep it is.
That could be the case.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we're being a little naive to how deep this thing
goes. Well, because I mean, listen.
I knew something was wrong, y'all. I think most of us did. But when they fired Brian Flores after winning that game against the Patriots, you said going hard that second half of the season, I was like, something is not right.
That was their plan from the jump, right? That was their plan from the jump, which is why he eventually was like, wait a minute. I see what's going on here. As long as I still have the gig, I'm about to show y'all what I'm worth.
Right.
Now imagine, right? He gets an opportunity somewhere with a halfway better team and goes with an undefeated season. Because with that Dolphins team, it wasn't possible for them to get an undefeated season regardless of how good of a coach he was. I don't want to say it wasn't possible, but I will say 99.99%. There were a few games you just weren't going to win. But with a coach that can go the second half of the season undefeated, that kind of makes you wonder what this postseason would look like if he would have just been able to rock.
Right.
And a Dolphins team at that. A Dolphins team that people were questioning.
Man.
I mean, to me, it makes me wonder, like, what if every team was able to go full go? Because clearly there's at least 3-4 teams that are, maybe even more, that are, getting their coaches are getting these deals. Like, what type of league would we have if every team was on go as opposed to...
I'm sure that's not even a race thing, like, to your point. I'm sure that's not even a race thing. I'm sure you are correct.
I'm sure Detroit's coach was on the same thing, and that's why he was like adamant he was going, let's say they decided to pay him, and again, I can't say for sure because I don't know, but let's say they was like, hey, every game you lose, you're going to get $100,000, and he lost a lot. You know what I'm saying? But he was also, so it makes sense too, like where he pulls those couple of wins that he pulls, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he already done made his money, he got a couple wins out of the season. He already done made his money. It makes sense that he was fighting so hard. He was really probably doing that for himself just to see, like, can I get this team a win?
I want to hear players come out, though.
Well, they're not going to offer the players that.
It doesn't matter, though, because at the same time, if I'm a guy like Jared Goff, who's more than halfway through his career, and you put me on a team where the coach is getting paid for me to throw the games, that then affects my contracts. That then affects who I could potentially go to after this. So see, I have to perform at the best of my ability regardless of what the fuck y'all got going on. That's right. This is for me.
He probably is performing at the best of his abilities, but at the same time, if the wrong plays are getting called, if they don't have the right people in, man, because
that's why I didn't.
Some QBs don't have the ability to call their own audibles, and they don't have. And when they do, it can't be often. You can't call an audible every play. You know what I'm saying? Without getting pulled. I think that
audible. Audible. If I'm on a squad where I'm like Jared Goff and y'all are purposely tanking, I will audible every fucking play to the point that the commentary starts to say, why is he like? Then you gotta ask me, why are you audibling? Because they're clearly calling the wrong play on purpose, and I can't run it. I'm not gonna run it, so I audible.
Well, I don't think that these players know that that's necessarily the goal, and how deep. Like, I don't think that they know. They're going with the game plan that the team. I mean, they may have an idea, but they might not have any. They might not have any proof. And then you also got to look at it too. Like, a lot of times, these teams that are probably tanking, they're not running with the best QB. They're running with a Goff who is at a weird point in his career where it's like he almost has to play it safe just to even get another chance. If that makes sense,
like, he can be up. That may be a fair point.
He can be up out of there. You ain't got to stick with you. You ain't nothing special. So I feel like these teams are not. You're not doing that with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, telling him to tank or doing things for him to necessarily tank.
There's certain teams you can't do that with.
Yeah, you do this shit with the Browns.
So look, I'll say this then. Let's say this, and then we'll move on. If this is a big if, y'all. Record it. Malk, record it on your phone. Record it so I know to come back to it. If we see a breakout season from a Trevor Lawrence within the next 2 years, this year coming up and the year after, a breakout season where it's like, oh, this motherfucker's putting up numbers, then I would say that may be proven off that. Because based on what I saw this year, he's not going to be able to come into his own within year 4 or 5.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Wait, give me a breakdown of that. What are you saying if he does break out in the next couple of years? Like if you see him have
an overly exceptional year is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a awful year like statistically, but at the same time you came out to the Jags, so I understand. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not throwing any slight at you. But what I'm saying is some of those passes could have looked a lot better. Some of that placement could have looked a lot better. So if we find out that you come out next year, the year after, and start looking like Justin Herbert, oh yeah, motherfucker, y'all was taken on purpose that year. We understand what was going on now.
Well, shit, look at
because I always said Lawrence looks great coming out of college, and he did not look like the same Lawrence in the NFL. And it didn't.
But how many?
I don't care what anybody says about the speed of the game. No, it was just certain passes were not passes he was making back then.
Well, I was gonna say, what was the coach name? Ohio State.
But I didn't mean to cut you off because you probably wasn't saying that anyway. But
no, I was just gonna say that. I mean, but there's been a lot of quarterbacks, Cliff, in my opinion, that just didn't. Some people just don't. They're not who you thought they were. Right. They don't have they were the man in college. They were the
I'm
man
a great judge of that. I'm
and
a
great
great
what Britt
judge
was about to say, she said the quarterback from Ohio State.
No. I meant to say the coach. If I said quarterback, my bad.
Tressel? Jim Tressel?
No, not Tressel. The dude that just coached the Jags.
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer. Yeah. So my bad. I couldn't think of his name. I've been drinking. But my thing is to prove your point, like you were saying, wait on Trevor Lawrence's performance in the next couple of years to see what was really going on. But shit, I feel like we kind of have our proof with Urban Meyer because it's like he did not take that job serious, in my opinion. He just never took it serious. His actions was like. Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Listen, don't go. While she's saying that, don't go connecting dots with me because that does make a lot of fucking sense as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think once again, I've never been. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I've never been really a fan or too impressed with Trevor Lawrence. I was impressed at the stage he was at in college, but that's college. You know what I mean? Even Troy Smith was the man in college. You know, he was Braxton Miller. Cliff was the man in college.
That's an interesting way to put it. That's a very interesting way to put it. And I mean, interesting in a good way. Like, that kind of changes thoughts. But
you know
it doesn't matter.
Like,
but okay, so the whole reason why I push back on a comment like that is when I look at him, when I look at his mechanics, like his mechanics in general. His footwork, his arm release, everything is like, God damn, like this nigga looks like a Ken doll. Like he looks like he's made, like he's perfect, like made to do it type shit.
Who, Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Weren't they, but Cliff.
No, he is good.
Weren't all of you back in the day saying the same thing about RG3 when he was coming out of Baylor?
No. That's different. RG3 was not mechanically sound so much. He was like the first. He was the first Mahomes where he was like, I don't want to say innovative because he wasn't that good, but he was very not awkward either. You know what I mean? Like he was
elusive, maybe a little elusive. Like he was kind of like running and
elusive falls into the category, but it's unconventional. RG3 was a very unconventional quarterback. Yes, we saw Vic before him, but we never saw Vic that could throw a pinpoint pass off of the run, back shoulder type shit. He was doing shit that you didn't see quarterbacks doing, and the elusiveness, to Britt's point, was half of the reason why he was able to do it, which is why I say Mahomes now, he gets away enough to get his shit off. But that's not a good comparison.
When you So let me ask you this, Cliff and Brittany. When you, let's not forget, when the media and the world has to question your character, aka Trevor Lawrence, about how serious did we all forget that he was questioned about how serious do you really take that you don't need football? Well, clearly, maybe you don't need football, but if you're gonna play football, Trevor Lawrence, maybe you should work a little bit harder. I feel like you probably don't work as hard as you should. You're probably in Jacksonville, like you said.
Well, that's all speculation too.
It's all speculation. It's all speculation. But I mean, come on. I feel like I was more impressed with Zach Wilson
at the same time, even I would
Trevor
agree.
Lawrence.
I would agree.
I was more impressed with Jalen Hurts in his freshman year, true freshman year, than Trevor Lawrence.
I would agree with that as well.
And these guys weren't the better quarterbacks.
And I'll agree with that. But
go ahead.
But before you get off, let me first stop you just to remind you that that's why this is so amazing that Britt's team is in the Super Bowl.
Oh Lord!
Because this is the first time that a first round draft pick has ever made it to the Super Bowl in his second season. Mm-hmm. That's unheard of. Why is it unheard of? Because usually when you're a first round draft pick, that indicates you're going to the worst team.
Right.
Now, one of the reasons why I give him so much peas is because he took the big nuts decision and was like, fuck the lineman, I'll deal with getting hit. Get me my nigga.
Right.
They did it. He made it. And now we got history that's being made.
That's all Aaron Rodgers wants. But listen, I feel like I'm a good judge of a quarterback.
Right.
Like I really do feel like I'm a good judge of a quarterback coming out of college. If I get to see them play a couple games, I can tell you if I think they're going to be good or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I have always felt like Baker Mayfield was not that guy. As far as passing abilities, I've always felt that when I looked at his highlights, and I'm looking at highlights of his college games, I'm like, this is not going to cut it in the NFL.
Right.
Like it's not going to cut it. When before Joe Burrow went to the Bengals,
Kadarius.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Come on, continue.
Before Joe Burrow went to the Bengals, I was like, he has it. Like he has what it takes. I knew he had what it took. I wish we had him. I don't even. Yeah. I've always said that. Like even though I wasn't originally a Bengals fan, I always knew Joe Burrow was good. Like you've never heard me down him. I knew he was good coming into it. I used to like mess with I'd ask my cousins like, "Yo, do y'all want Joe Burrow? I want to know what y'all think because y'all about to get him. Do y'all want him?"
At Ohio State,
because I knew he was gonna be good, and I do think that Trevor Lawrence is good as well. But if the desire is not there, then the wins won't be there. I do think he has the ability.
That's a good point to make as well.
He has the abilities to get it done, but he's gonna have to find that drive again or that excitement for the game in order to get it done. Unfortunately, he's in the wrong place to get that excitement.
Won't happen there.
And you got criticized, Trevor Lawrence, right before you even got drafted. You hadn't at the time even stepped foot on the NFL field yet, and they were questioning your commitment to the game. People ain't gonna ever forget that.
You're right.
So if he don't pan out to be this number one pick that he was,
I would like him in Vegas.
Man, no, you don't. Stop it. You're better off Mariota. Stop it.
I would like him in Vegas. He would cut his long locks. He would have a buzz cut and a face tattoo. But no, just
he would get toward.
See him somewhere where they want to win. Like, listen, I've been ranting and raving about this on Facebook for like the past week, month, whatever, since I've been a Bengals fan. Like, it is like some organizations to me and with the Brian Flores thing coming out, some organizations don't want to win. It shows because it's like the choices that you make are bullshit. It's like counterproductive. Right. So this actually goes with it. And the Browns being on that list makes sense. Like, I understand you trying to get the draft pick, et cetera, but it's just like year in and year out, like you are not making moves to want to win. And
tax write-offs.
My thing, huh?
Tax write-offs.
Tax write-offs.
Some of them don't give a fuck.
They should. I'm sorry. Continue your thought.
My thought was, damn, I think I kind of forgot, but my thought was, Trevor Lawrence needs to be in an environment where the team, like the organization, not the team, but the organization wants to win, man. There should be ups and downs.
Vegas.
There should be ups and downs to your winning and losing. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't mostly be down. Like, I feel like no offense to
Jacksonville had
Cali,
Jets. That run with, who was that? Fred Taylor.
Man, that was Cliff. Come on, bruh. That was back.
That wasn't.
Oh
shoot.
And who was the quarterback?
That was back in Byron Leftwich, bruh.
Nah. Before that,
Mark Brunell. Cuddy, that was back. You talking about back in 05.
I need real runs.
But they was an expansion team. They just came out when I was like 8 years old, 9 years.
They were.
I kept track of football back then when I was playing and all that. They were. Them and Carolina came in at the same time.
But they never took it serious. I just felt they never took it serious. No,
I just think they have.
I haven't got that serious vibe from them yet. I haven't got the serious vibe from them yet. And I feel like in a 10-year span, no, they're not young anymore. Within a 10-year span, you should be able to go on a run. That's how I feel. If you're a serious team,
but as an expansion team is different, right? Because it's not
what? They got to put the pieces together just like everybody else.
Right. But you're starting. I feel like that's why they said, and I think the first year that they came in, was it the Panthers? It was either them or the Panthers. I think it was them, the Jaguars, that made a run at the Super Bowl. And it was so crazy because, nope.
I think it might have been the Jags, maybe.
I think it was the Jags. I can't remember, but it was so crazy because no expansion team has ever made close to getting the Super Bowl. Why? Because you're taking the scraps of the league and the pieces that you can acquire.
Right.
It's not like you've been established and you have trades and picks. You're starting out lower than everybody else.
They went for a run for the Super Bowl because they were coming into it with the only intention of trying to win. Before all the politics and stuff like that, like, oh, you need to lose so you can get this and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that they on now, they came into it with the intention of trying to win. That's a good point. That's been diluted. So now they getting this below mediocre team every year. And like I said, a good organization should have its ups and downs. Like the Panthers are displaying that they are a good organization because they have their ups and downs.
Right. I see what you're saying.
I need to see something. And I do encourage anybody listening, if the team that you have been rooting for cannot win, or they don't seem to be able to put the pieces together to make a decent team in a 10-year span, Jets, get out.
Man, fuck you. Get out. I'm forever silver and black.
Okay. I don't know where I put the Raiders. I don't know if I put them on the spectrum of not trying to win. I do think that, they try to make moves.
I think they're just lacking in
I'm not 100% behind that though. So I'm on the fence about them though. Because I feel like that Gruden contract to me is a team that is trying to make moves. You're going to pay a nigga $100 million. But
then let him send out all your best talent.
Yeah, so then I see stuff like that, and then I'm like, I don't know. So
send out all your best talent.
I'm on the fence with them. Like I said, man, it's a lot going on, especially if these teams are just, like I said, it might be big, so much bigger and deeper than we think. Like if these teams are deciding way ahead of time, okay, we're going to bring in Brian Flores with the intention of making it seem like we're diverse, but we're also going to allow him to tank or want him to tank just so we can fire him next year. Like they don't even give a fuck about this. I bet it's
somebody in the office that's bringing up those points.
I'm sure that
we should do right now. You know.
But I'm just saying, like, but this is something that is not just one team. This is multiple teams, and this is ongoing. So my thing is, it's so much deeper to the point where it's like some teams might have agreed, like, hey, we're not even going to get a win. We don't even. I'm not going to say we're not going to get a win, but we don't even want our team to be good for until 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? It might be so much deeper than just these moments that we're deducing it to. Like it could be they can have a 10-year plan for all we know. Like we know, right now they know that they ain't even gonna be good till 2028.
And it conflicts with our 10-year plan as fans.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We just looking stupid. That's my whole point. Get up out of that relationship with that.
Listen,
get up out of that relationship with that
team. Me, baby. You ain't gonna sway me, baby.
I'm just saying.
I can't.
I'm just saying. If listen, if Carr is your quarterback 3 years from now, you still gonna root for the Raiders?
Fuck no, I won't.
I'm just saying you gotta start drawing the line. Like my line is drawn. Like I'm not going back to the Browns until Baker is gone. I refuse.
And if I did ever secede from my Raiders fandom, I couldn't go with the Bengals. I would have to go from one abusive relationship to the other and go with the Browns.
I mean, go where I wouldn't do that.
Just because I'm here.
Thing is, like, I feel like the way they
I would never do that.
But my thing is this: look at how the game is changing.
That sounds crazy.
But listen, look at how the game is changing. Like, look at how different things are than how they were in the past, as far as like the dynamics and all the stuff that's going on that's never gone on before. I don't feel like, and this is, you can cross platforms, you can go to the NBA, whatever you want to call it. I don't feel like people should stick with a team anymore. Like, I know it represents loyalty, but loyalty to what? Loyalty to what if these teams are never getting you in the playoffs?
To your squad.
Nah, what are you loyal to at this point?
My squad. What if we do get a win and it was without me?
But my thing is, all right, you are
transferring to the, and I'm not saying that this took place with your Bengals, because that's definitely not the case. But why transfer to a squad that's getting wins for me to be like, yeah, I'm a part of these wins, and my squad get one and I not be a part of it?
No, my thing is this. Why not? I'm not saying transfer to where somebody's getting wins. I'm saying transfer to an organization that wants to win.
But that's usually what happens, is when people think like that, they go to the Warriors, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Bucks. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
But if these are the teams that want to win,
but in that thinking, then at that point, you eventually end up with 7-on-7 in the league. A 7 AFC team, 7 on NFC, and you know what I mean? Those teams eventually end up dying off that nobody cares about, and we end up just having those 7-8 teams on each side.
No, that's not it. Like I said, it should be a flow. It should be a up and downhill battle. Like, you should go through your periods of good and bad.
The battle, right? And some battles are longer than others.
Absolutely not. Listen, nobody frustrates me more than the Browns. Like, the moves they make, the things they do with their money is frustrating. Like, to me, like, being a Browns fan.
Are you talking to?
Listen, that's
me?
What I mean. You should know. Maybe I feel like y'all do a little bit better than we do in a lot of cases.
That slightly, somewhat, sometimes. But yeah, I'll give you that.
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just frustrating to see an organization constantly make the wrong moves, let certain people go, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to stand behind something that I don't agree with.
Yeah, you talking to me.
You got to ride or die. Right.
That's my point. Like, I just feel like that's such an old school way of thinking. Just like, man, listen, I picked this team. This is my team.
But family tradition.
Like I need to roll with them.
Anything that I do. Like,
right.
It's not just football. It's anything that I'm committed to
Right.
The outcome doesn't matter. I'm committed. We're here. So how do we?
I'm committed as well. But I want to win. So my thing is this: why am I going to commit to a loser? If you are dating a woman,
we change it.
Oh
no, I'm not trying to get into anything deeper.
I'm just saying. You get my point.
But I understand exactly what you're saying. No, with a woman, it's different. No.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not.
It is.
No. My thing is
with a woman, it's different. And I'm going to explain why, because I sound like an asshole if I just say that without explaining. With a team, usually you commit to the organization from history that you've seen. With a woman, you don't understand or recognize history until time you've spent. So if you recognize red flags in that time you spent, you're more susceptible to leave because it's like I've already devoted. Whereas you look at a team and I already have history to judge from. You don't get that history when you select a woman. You learn that history from being with them.
Okay, so then why are you not looking at the history that you gain while you're with the team?
Right,
why is that not a factor?
Question. That's a good question. That is a
you know
good
what I'm saying?
question.
Like why do they get a pass but your woman can't get a pass?
That's
like,
a good question. That's a good question.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
Malcolm, talk to me here. I know you're married, but there probably was a time where you went after a girl and you got her, you started to get to know her, and as you were getting to know her, you was like, nope,
this ain't gonna work.
Because she started doing things that just didn't align with who you were. So that's my whole point. When you are with a team, like why is it frowned upon in the sports community to switch teams? Because I start seeing things I don't like. Because I see too much I don't like.
With the team, at the end of the day, I don't have any personal stock or ownership in it, even though I am a loyal fan. So I guess because I'm not directly tied to it, I can tolerate more in that sense compared to your comparison of a woman.
Yeah, I guess that makes
sense. Because that's a day to day. That's a grind to grind. That's
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like I don't want the stigma. I don't want the stigma that's coming with me being a Bengals fan now because I don't believe in the Browns organization. Listen,
well, we're family, so we love you regardless. But you got to worry about everybody else out there.
Right.
I'm just saying, listen,
false flagging ass.
Just don't go to Cleveland. Just don't go to Cleveland for a while, probably.
Right.
I stand proud in my Bengals love. Now it is a little. It has been a little difficult in the adjustments. Like
you're right, the social conversation.
It don't hit like when I'm cheering for the Browns. But like I said, I feel confident. This is not the first time I've switched teams. I want to go on record. I did the same thing with Johnny Manziel. Like, nope, get him up out of here. I'm not a Browns fan for the rest of the season. I think I started rooting for the Giants because I liked Odell Beckham Jr.
Shit.
And you know what? And I will give you your piece on that you have always, even on social media, made it. Odell. No, not even that. Made it apparent that you root for who you like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No. Like, which is why, and she did that. I remember the first post came when LeBron left Cleveland and went to LA, and she announced her new Laker fandom.
Yes, I got.
Which I would like to throw in your motherfucking face right now with Malcolm.
Listen, that's probably why we losing.
I love LeBron, and I'm riding with LeBron. I believe in LeBron. I will always believe in LeBron. So I don't feel bad. Like that's not a bad.
I fucks with my homie. I just like we've talked about my disdain comes with LeBron comes from the fact that you traded away
The
all
sacrifice
of the youth and everything to make the team you wanted just to leave it behind.
We've had this talk before, and this is a whole nother conversation.
Right, and we ain't
I'm not gonna get into it because I have my feelings about it.
Let's jump in because while we bullshit and talking all this bullshit, we ain't never talked about the Rams 49ers game.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to talk about it to lead into the big game because we can't say the small.
Oh.
Well, we ain't getting
what?
Money off of it anyway.
Right.
We can't say what?
The smoocher.
He's talking about the big game. The big game.
We not allowed to say that.
We can't. Well, you're not allowed.
He already said
monetizing. We don't get no money.
Dang, did you put that in the? Did you put that in the chat? We weren't allowed to say that.
No, I didn't. But it don't matter.
He didn't send out the rules before class.
Super Bowl, motherfucking Super Bowl. Shit.
Well, there it is.
Relax. 10 years from now, they might try to come back and be like, yeah.
They gonna hit us.
Right. They gonna look back at this tape right here.
Relax.
Uncle Sam will take us to court with this clip right here.
Alleged Super Bowl.
Well, Rams and Niners game was crazy though, y'all.
The bowl of super.
Right. There we go.
Crazy. Bowl of super.
No, listen. Since we get into the Rams and the 49ers game, one thing that I kind of like, I want to see like the backstory one day. It probably will come out. Like, I know you guys seen the post on ESPN where it was like the owner of the 49ers gave Garoppolo that hug.
No, it was the GM and it was John Lynch.
Okay, the GM, my bad. He gave him like, he was like dapping everybody else up. He giving them handshakes, like, you know, good game. But then like Garoppolo, like he gave him that hug. I feel bad for Garoppolo because there's probably a part of him that felt like he did enough to like allow him to stay, but they didn't give a shit. And it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gone. In that moment, you already lost the game, but then for them to like kind of like bring that up at the same time that you're already feeling some type of way from losing the game to go to the Super Bowl, I'm sure that hurt a little bit. I'm sure that hurt his pride. I'm sure that hurt just, you know, regular emotionally, like, damn, like nothing I did was even good enough for me to even ponder like me staying. You know for sure that I'm gone.
And
like,
John Lynch probably whispered in his ear before he gave him the hug, like, you got your bonus, motherfucker. Walk out peacefully.
Nah, I think it was just like, thanks for your time. Like it wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
They had been not wanting Jimmy G in San Francisco.
I mean, I get it, but it's kind of like at the same time, he did almost take you to a Super Bowl. Like, even if you felt that way, I can see him kind of like wanting some credit. Like, damn, like none of that shit mattered. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing I did mattered. Like, he should have let them niggas go out in the first round.
The way that feels, but at the same time, like you said, like we've been talking about, this is a business, motherfucker, and yours doesn't work out with ours. So
yeah, that to me, that meant they was getting Aaron Rodgers.
I think so.
That's what that to me. That's what that was.
I called
like, that. There's nothing you can do. Aaron Rodgers is coming in. Like it was like one of those things where, again, this goes back to what we was talking about 5-10 minutes ago. They have their future planned out so far ahead, we don't even recognize how far ahead they are.
I don't even give that a call. Like me saying I called that Aaron Rodgers going to I don't even consider that a call. I consider that, like you said, like the written story. Like people could have seen that from a mile away. If you
him going to the 49ers.
Right. And it may not end up being that way, but I bet you
they getting somebody. They bringing in somebody.
I bet you it's Aaron Rodgers,
and they feel confident that he's gonna be better than Garoppolo. I'm not saying that Garoppolo's the best.
Listen, I'm gonna give 2 predictions tonight. Aaron Rodgers joins the 49ers,
or the Buccaneers.
I don't think he would go behind.
Aaron Rodgers joins the 49ers.
He still got an ego.
Calls Steve Young and requests to wear the number 8.
What's Aaron Rodgers' number now? 7?
13? 12.
He's 12. Yeah,
12.
he's 12.
I don't think he changes his number.
I think
he stays with his own.
12?
Yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers is creating his own legacy. I don't think he's doing that.
I'm calling it because there's something.
I don't get that
there's something deeper in his head, right? That's why he lost all them games to the 49ers and just shitted on everybody else. I feel like he may be the guy to be like, well, let me continue. They ain't retired it. Let me share that with you.
You know my thing too, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, he's clearly not going to be able to bring Devontae Adams. So where does Devontae Adams go?
Well, he wouldn't, if they have already franchise tagged him, he wouldn't be able to go anywhere till next year.
They franchise tag too. Last time I checked, Devontae Adams was one of the top free agent wide receivers.
Didn't y'all say he franchise tagged him?
Who?
You
Adam?
He hasn't been.
Les.
Yeah, I believe he got franchise tag. I'll double check.
Listen, I thought I was the guy that argued that when I heard it.
Last time I checked, he was not franchise tagged yet. He was a free agent. And depending on where Aaron Rodgers goes, he will take him with him. If he goes to San Francisco, he won't be able to. He won't be able to if he goes to San Francisco. Swap. They're not swapping any of them.
They would have to, and I think they would for Devontae. I think they would keep a Debo. I think they would keep a Devontae and what's the
who would they get? Who would they give up though? I don't think they're willing to give up anybody. They're one piece away. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I guess he's not franchise tag.
I told you he's not franchise.
I argued that episode, and y'all tried to tell me that.
No, he's not franchise yet.
I mean, but if I got it,
he's not going to let them franchise him.
If I said it, Cliff, I would have gotten mine from a source. Did you know? Usually, I quote
you just
where
started
I got
sourcing
it from.
yourself 3 weeks ago.
Hey, get out of here! You know I'm good for it. Ain't no plagiarism. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Cheers, Aaron Rodgers. I hope you land in San Francisco.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, he's gonna be in the number 8, and everybody gonna come out like it's gonna be a LeBron type.
Aaron Rodgers is not that type of guy, man. He's not.
Watch. Watch what I said.
He don't want to feel.
Double.
He don't want to. He don't look up to them niggas. I mean, he probably wants to break their record. I think he's too competitive for that.
Definitely.
I don't think he takes on somebody else's number,
my name
man.
Ain't the number. That's what he gonna say.
Nah, listen, he don't want their number. He don't want.
What's gonna happen is it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna come up missing, and this podcast is gonna be over, and they're gonna be like, "Why?" And they're gonna be like, "Cause that nigga knew too much."
Stop it. Stop it.
On to my next prediction, but before I get to it, for my shower heads, the Rams did pull that victory off over the Niners, 20-17. Britt, you got that wrong. You went with the Niners with OG Mike Brown.
Yeah.
That was.
We already talked about it. I like it. I really did. So I wanted to.
Oh, something happened.
And I told you guys the team that I least wanted. We had this a couple weeks ago. The team that I least wanted to see in the Super Bowl was the Rams. I do not care for them. I do like Odell Beckham Jr., but I don't like the Rams.
Listen, I told y'all last Wednesday episode, I said Odell got a locket that he keeps around his neck.
Oh, my God.
And he tucks it in. Every time he lines up on that line, and one side is a picture of him, and the other side is the Super Bowl emblem with the Rams.
Well, I hope he has a great game, but we'll see what happens, man. They let the Rams win. That goes back to my conspiracy.
Him and Cooper Kupp went off. They both. Cooper Kupp had 11 receptions, 142 yards, 12.9.
That's his usual.
2 touchdowns, 25 long. Odell had 9 receptions, 123 yards, 12.6 average, 29 long, 0 touchdowns. Either way, they both balled out. And Odell's
going to score in the Super Bowl.
Around his
Odell's going to score in the Super Bowl.
You know he is.
I know he's going to score in the Super Bowl. I don't know if he's going to go nuts, but I know he's going to score in the Super Bowl. And I'm happy for him. I hope he tears it up. But I really Oh my goodness, I'm conflicted.
And
I really want the Bengals to win.
Jimmy G threw the pick to lose the game. You
We knew
seen
that was
that?
gonna happen.
Man, I said it. I
I
said he gonna
knew it was
throw a
gonna
mini.
happen. He was due for one, and I'm like,
Man,
oh my
listen.
god, he should have got that shit out early. Should have
But
threw one
Malcolm
soon as
don't
he.
listen to me unless it come from Stephen A. Smith.
Man, listen.
I gotta tell Stephen A. Smith what to say, allegedly.
For me to listen.
For Malcolm to listen to what I'm saying. Maybe I need to just cut my motherfucking hairline back halfway, and this motherfucker would start listening to me. But yeah, Britt, to you, I think that's a problem. I think that's a problem. I think it's a problem thinking that Cincinnati's gonna win this game.
No. Let me just give my opinion real quick since we're on the subject
Right,
of the super, the bowl of super.
Right. That chili bowl.
I want the Bengals to win the game because that's who I'm rooting for. I'm from Ohio, and I do feel like they can pull it off because they have that magic. And I know that's not a stat, not something that people factor in, but they got it. They got that juice. You know what I'm saying? However, if we look at it from the standpoint of how we looked at the when the Bucks played the Rams, and we were talking about all the missing pieces and et cetera, et cetera. So let's look at it. I'm looking at it from that standpoint. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of that line. That offensive line is a little weak.
Never had one.
And the Rams got some beasts on their defensive line. Listen. So they gon' be coming through like a freight train. Listen. So defensively, I'm worried. I'm worried defensively.
Not only that, and keep your train of thought. I just want to throw this in real quick. Not only that, but you got a cornerback that can travel and follow Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
He don't got to stay on one side. You stick with him the whole fucking game. A ring depends on it. Oh, yeah, he's going to get that done.
No, I mean, I understand that. And like I said, I was going to say 49ers. The Chiefs did a really good job of containing Chase. I mean, he got his little stuff off, but as far as what he could do, what we've seen him do and what we're used to, they did a really good job containing him. So, they may do a good job containing him. And I feel confident that the Bengals are practicing in a way where a lot of the passes are going to go to Higgins and Boyd, who I have 100% faith in. So I feel like they can get it off in that particular way. But what I feel like is the determining factor, and we talk about it all the time, defense wins games. Listen. And I'm afraid of that line. And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but for my shower heads, who I was talking about was Jalen Ramsey, the cornerback. I need to start.
They know who you talking about.
Well, they may not. We got a lot of overseas listeners. They may be getting hooked to football as we speak. I don't know. And when I say a lot, I mean a couple. But we do have one or two in about 3 or 4 countries.
It's scary because, again, we got to deal with that defense, and then it's not like the offense is slacking any. This is a high octane offense, and it's just a lot that you have to handle.
And what I will point out is y'all's defense is a lot better than perceived as well.
We got heart.
Y'all's defense is a lot better than perceived. It's almost like one of those situations where it's like I don't know anybody particularly, but all of them together is great. Like nobody stands out to me to where I start looking them up, but everybody works well.
But I think that, like I said, I think it's something on Cincinnati's side. One of the things that I also was thinking too, I just feel like it's also fitting, and they may talk about it 20 years from now, because I feel like he's that type of player. Tom Brady retires, and Tom Brady retires the year that Joe Burrow gets his first Super Bowl. And
that would be
20
a passing of the torch.
Yeah, 20 years from now, Joe Burrow could be Tom Brady in a sense, as far as like what he's able to accomplish.
Yes,
so
I agree.
I just feel like that's one thing that has to be factored in. I think Joe Burrow's the next GOAT. And I feel like if he gets this, he's so relaxed and he's just so chill and he wants to win. If he does get this Super Bowl, I feel like the sky's the limit. It's kind of like that moment that they said Michael Jordan had hit that shot in college, and he said that changed everything for him. I can't remember what it was for. It was some shot in college it was a big shot in college that he hit. And he was like, when I hit that shot, it was basically when he turned into the Michael Jordan that we know
I'm not thinking
today
about anything right now, right? Other than I'm just trying to understand. Hold up, time out. Let me rewind. What were you saying before Michael Jordan shot?
Joe Burrow's, basically, I'm just saying, Joe like, Burrow's, if he gets a Super Bowl, so you can have a defining moment in sports where you almost feel invincible, where things can change for you as far as like what you can accomplish.
And I feel like when you're already, or it's going to happen in this game.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Super Bowl would be that point where I feel like he would become the GOAT, that we see in Tom Brady. He would become that type of quarterback.
Not only am I following you, I remember what I was about to say. So, what you're saying is that you're challenging my prophecy that Odell Beckham's locket that he keeps in his motherfucking neck.
God. He had that locket when he was in Cleveland.
Every time with fucking his face
stinking it up.
And the Rams thing on it. You saying that that's not going to happen, and that the prophecy of Joe Burrow's getting the old guard to retire and pass down his legend to him is going to take place. That's what you're saying.
No, I gave two perspectives. I told you how I felt. I told you.
Sleep. You did give me. You did.
I gave you two perspectives. I said, now I want the Bengals to win, and I told you I felt like the Bengals had a lot of energy on their side to win. Where the stars will align for them, and I do feel like there's also the storyline of the torch being passed to Joe Burrow, even though we don't see it yet. I think he can be and will be that guy. But on the flip side, if we just look at it from like a scientific or a stat perspective, where we just like, all right, take away all that extra energy stuff, et cetera, and I'm looking at that offensive line, and I'm looking at that defensive line, I would say that it's going to be hard to stop the Rams, as in they could definitely potentially win it.
I ignored
so
all
I just gave two perspectives of my feeling in my head, basically. Like, this is what my heart says, and this is what my head says.
That the prophecy is Joe Burrow's getting the guard passed down.
Yeah, the torch is being passed to Joe Burrow, for sure, if he wins this.
Okay, he's out again. It's all right.
I was wondering why he was so quiet.
But yeah, no, if I will say this, if big fucking if Joe Burrows can pull this off, I feel like I almost feel like you've paved the track to be beyond a Brady.
Okay.
I do.
I'm giving him GOAT. I'm just giving him GOAT status. I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm just giving him GOAT status.
And the only reason why I say that, and I will say this as well, I don't see him winning 7 rings with Cincinnati. I'm just saying first of all, showing that you can be a first round pick and win a Super Bowl against a team like this. Like, this is his Ivan Drago. This is his biggest nemesis. Aaron Donald and a Von Miller rushing you with no line at all. After you ask them not to get you a line and get you Jamar Chase. If you can pull this off, this is the Rocky story. The real live Rocky story.
Let me further predict. If he pulls this off, I'm giving him and Jamar Chase, because they're going to be a tandem here.
Yeah, good point.
I'm giving them 3 to 4 Super Bowl wins. If he can pull this off with no line, with Cincinnati, because they're not going nowhere. Huh?
That may make sense.
They're not going nowhere. If they pull this off, I'm giving them a total before they separate and maybe go here or go there. I'm giving them a total of 3 to 4 Super Bowls.
Are those back to back, or are those within a certain
No,
year's
I'm not
time?
saying back to back. I'm just saying within their time together as Bengals, I'm giving them 3 to 4 Super Bowls.
Let me write it down. I think that's a good stat to write down.
If they get this win with no line,
right,
they will come together and figure out how to do it a few more times. So I'm giving them a total of 3 to 4 Super Bowls that they win together.
So 4 bowls of super.
Mm-hmm.
Within their time.
And we turn it up next week, Joe.
Listen, I just said it. I know. I just said it. If he can pull it off, I think that sets him up to be able to exceed Tom Brady. Regardless of Super Bowl wins, then it comes down to your career. And I know that's wild to say, but that just goes to show, to be able to accomplish that, to even get to the Super Bowl off of your second win as a first-round draft pick. Because if you remember, when he was coming out, he was saying he didn't want to go to the Bengals.
Who wants to go to the Bengals? He probably wanted to go. I mean, it makes sense. Most good players want to go somewhere where they have the potential to win. So he knew coming into it, if you went to the Bengals, that would not be, he wasn't going to come in with a shot of really going somewhere that first year.
First of all, you're with the Bengals. Second of all, you're a first-round pick. So my next question would be to you first. Well, no. To you first, and Malcolm back in business. You
should go to Malcolm first.
Okay.
You've been on a hiatus.
Well, the only reason why I say you first is because you were involved directly in conversation. And that may spark Malcolm's thought process. But do you think, with that being said, that whole conversation beforehand being said, that, and I only say that to make Malcolm that more nervous, that Joe Burrow made the decision to pick Jamar Chase off of a shot in the dark, or that he felt that in that first year he had enough to get it done with him regardless of injury?
I think that he is a smart guy, and any person in any sport that is really good at that level of good knows what they need to win.
Right.
And he told them what he needed to win. And I feel like when you have that caliber of a quarterback, you need to listen.
Right.
And I think that's all it was. Like, he knows his abilities and he fully believes in himself. And that's why I think he's a winner and why he's going to be a winner. So he knew, like, listen, this line, I know I can maneuver enough to get my passes off. I'm gonna get tore up a little bit, but I think that at the end of the day, if I don't have anybody that I know can go get that ball, it doesn't matter if you give me a line or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I need someone I can trust in.
Right.
So, I mean, that's my take on that.
How do you feel, Mal, about that?
I mean,
do you think it was a shot in the dark, or do you think it was a planned hit? Was it a premeditated murder, or was it an act of passion?
You're talking about specifically the Burrow and Chase ordeal, correct, how that got set up? Okay. I think it was definitely planned. Like, I think that, like you said, Joe Burrow probably had some kind of opinion in, hey, we know you play with Jamar Chase. You guys looked really great together in college. We don't really have many weapons for you on offense right now. What if we brought him here? Do you think that would help you out over an offensive line? And I think Burrow was probably like, hell yeah. Like, hey, we can make some things happen. I think it was planned. I don't think it was a coincidence or anything like that.
Okay.
I think they had that set up. Yeah.
And let me say this too. And this is why I fuck with the Bengals. And this goes back to my original, what we were talking about earlier. The fact that they listened to this man shows you that they want to win. Like, their goal is to win.
Right.
And to be with an organization, because some organizations wouldn't even went to him or wouldn't even listen to him if he came to them, or however it went. Like,
correct.
The Browns would have been like, nope.
Absolutely correct. Nope. You are absolutely correct. That's what's so wild about it to me. To be quite honest, is the fact that you listen to a rookie quarterback. He didn't do bad his first year. He didn't do bad. But
they knew the team sucked. The overall team sucked.
And he got hurt. But the fact that he came back the second year and was like, just give me my guy. Just get me my fucking guy. That's all I need. And then to do
again,
that's just,
if you invest, if that's your number one pick, why wouldn't you not believe in him? Like, if you're going, that's who you go with number one.
Delusions of grandeur. And you can't assume that every quarterback that comes out of college, regardless of if they won the national championship, is ready mentally for a professional league. That takes more than, i.e. Trevor Lawrence.
But no, my point is this. Not saying that they knew if he could or couldn't succeed. But my thing is this. At the end of the day, they don't know what the end result is going to be.
Wild.
But but they made a choice. They came together and made a choice. Like, this is who we're going with. They could have went with a couple other people. They decided that's who they were going with. So my thing is this: if you're deciding on something, why be half in, half out? Like, nah. If this is our guy,
I agree.
I'm going to believe in this guy for the time being until he shows us that he's not our guy. My thing is, if our guy says, pick this guy up,
right,
we're picking him up.
Listen, I mean, I hope this changes decision making in the league altogether.
Right.
I really do, because this is unheard of.
I think the Bengals are just that type of team, for real.
I agree with that.
I think the Steelers are that type of team too. Like, I feel like the Steelers would be the same type of team. I just think that they're that type of team.
I feel like the Steelers are that type of team because of the coach.
I mean, it don't act like the Bengals haven't tried that as well.
Right, but I feel like the Steelers, we went down that last episode. Tomlinson makes a good push on black coaches.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin.
Come on, man. He's that dude's so solid. Like, again,
never had a losing season.
Ain't nothing you can even. I mean,
is that what it takes to be a black coach? You can't lose.
Yes.
Well, listen, Denzel showed us that. We remember the Titans, didn't he?
Oh, that's a great movie, by the way.
So I guess it kind of proves true when you look at Mike Tomlin's record and you look at everybody else. Listen, even Brian Flores damn near had an even record and went 8-0, and y'all ain't respect that. Y'all ain't respect that?
I do.
Y'all ain't respect that?
It's not about, I think that with him, we already know the game plan was whoever's in this position is going to tank. So there was nothing for them to respect. Like, we need you to tank. They want to look like a whole new team next year.
The end of the season is way more impressive than the Cardinals 9-0 at the beginning. Nobody knows what to expect at the beginning of the season. I don't care what you say about the preseason. We don't play our starters. You don't know what to expect in the beginning of the season, but to come out at the end of the season and go 8-0, that's crazy in itself.
Right.
That's crazy by itself. And then to release that coach.
The plan was never to keep that coach.
You know that.
Yeah, that was
now
just
you know
shady.
that. That's why I feel like Godspeed. I feel like there's going to be a lot of information that gets released on that, and I feel like it's I apologize for comparing it to this situation, but a Penn State situation where you see a lot of people piling on, like, yeah, I was involved. I know specifically. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's going to be like that. And once again, I apologize for comparing the situations. They're not comparable. But that's the only comparison I had.
We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what this does to the league. I'm very curious.
I hope it changes it. I do hope it changes it in one way or another. But what we will do, since we really touched on everything other than Tom Brady officially announcing his retirement.
Right.
Nah. Hey.
I didn't like the fact that I thought it was kind of whack, but maybe it was his plan. I didn't like the fact that they didn't let this man announce his own retirement. Like, he was like thinking about it.
I didn't think about that.
Right, they leaked it.
And they started throwing that shit out. Like, come on. I'm like, let him announce his own retirement.
That's just another point. That's just another point. I feel like that's another point for Cliff. Because I feel like the whole Belichick, Brian Flores situation, nothing ever gets released when we know it's released. They knew beforehand.
Right.
He hit him up beforehand. Man, I'm telling you, he's a major part. He gonna go down and no, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say something.
I wouldn't have mind Brady doing his like a farewell year. Like, if play one more year and it's not even out. Yeah, he could still do it. Play one more year and give everyone a chance to say farewell, like that, like D Wade did his retirement year.
I don't know how right Les is, but didn't Les say that he got until the 4th?
Yeah, he said something about the 4th is what he said.
Yeah, or he loses out on that $15 million. Now that I know is true, but I didn't know if it was the 4th or not.
I don't know.
I'm not sure
like
of the date.
If Brady did officially announce his retirement, I feel like if he did, he may, I don't know. I want to say he probably is official. Like, something he doesn't want to do. Maybe he feels like it's too much rebuilding with the
play
Bucks.
Until 45.
He said he was going
to
play
What happened to the 4 or 5, my G?
He said to like 50. He was talking stuff to
just one more.
50.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just.
What is he, 44?
I just feel like one more year. You led the league in passing and all that, touchdowns. Just one more year. Nah,
I think he has one more year in him.
Don't do it.
But then again, it might be more to it. It might be some shit going on with the Bucks organization he just don't want to deal with.
Don't do it, my G. Don't do it. Now that I think about it, don't do it. Life is more important. I'm thinking of it from my perspective. from a guy that never got to do it. You know, that wants to still do something, live up to something he ain't in the first place. That's my perspective. You already did it. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. You got
no risk it, no biscuit.
Right. You got a beautiful family, all that. Enjoy life. Don't do that. No, I agree. Don't
do it, Tom. Do it.
I would like it. That would be what would be in my head.
Give us a farewell year. Give us a farewell year.
But see, I think when you say farewell year to me and I'm on defense, you better not never call no blitz. Are you calling the 2 safety blitz? That's what you want? The 2 to come down? Oh, no. Because I'm going to hurt him. I'm not going to hit him like this is his last year.
Now, you know they don't let people. They only Tom Brady is protected.
Don't care. You're going to know I'm here.
I'm
not going to hit him illegally. Like to where they kick me out, but they'll call a penalty.
I don't think people. Man, I don't know if you want to be that guy that takes Tom Brady out in his retirement.
Yes, I am. I'm hungry.
They'll find the shit out of you for doing that to Tom Brady.
They probably would blackball me like.
Give me half his.
I don't care. That's me personally. Any hit I make is going to be a big hit. I'm sorry. It just so happened that you were the guy. These bullets have no name, G. They shoot them. They call the play. I just shoot.
That sounds good in the streets. That doesn't sound good with Tom Brady.
Don't matter. Listen, they called the play. They cocked that pistol when they caught it. They could have.
They ain't letting Tom get done like that.
I went in. They ain't letting Tom get
done like that.
Listen, that's all I'm saying is I'm the guy that's going to lose out. I am that guy that would lose out on the rest of his career because he did that.
Big ups to Tom Brady too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 36 and I know how I feel right now. And the fact that he played to 44 in such a physical sport where you know what I'm saying? No telling how many days he
don't discredit
back
yourself.
Hurting, legs hurting. I'm just saying.
I'm just playing.
I can only imagine. That's almost another, 8. That's what 8 years.
But if you trained and did that imagine. Your whole time,
I get it, but football. It's still, but it's not contact though.
But if you trained that your whole life, you would be callous to it. It wouldn't be the same.
But I'm just saying, like, there's things that you can't even necessarily train for. Like, even with us playing flag football, think about how many times you was sore or had a bruise on you. You're like, damn, how I even get that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if it was contact.
Athletic
like,
tape is for.
Man, no. It's been times when people done It's been times when people done accidentally stepped on my foot with their cleats, and I was about ready to call a timeout. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so imagine at that particular level where they have no mercy. Like, I can only imagine the beating his body is taking, and he's the most protected. That's the most protected position on the field. So again, the fact that he even played to 44 is amazing. Really amazing. He's big shout out to you, Tom.
He is the
Tommy
goat.
B.
Not a Kobe goat or a LeBron goat or none of that, or a Jordan goat for that matter. Tom Brady is the unequivocal GOAT.
He's a GOAT. And
can't nobody equate to that.
Yeah. Joey B coming. Joey B coming.
Listen,
Joey B coming.
I'm not discrediting. You right back on time. We getting these Super Bowl picks in, and then we gonna hit the showers and we out of there.
All right, bet.
All right, so Bengals Rams, we playing in LA. Them Tigers coming to LA.
Bengals by 3.
Ooh, shit. Bread out the gate. Bengals 3.
It's that type of game.
Man, I want to see the Bengals win, but I'm gonna say Rams pull it out. I'm gonna say Rams win by 6.
That's interesting. That's around how I was thinking. I'm not gonna lie, and I felt the exact same way. I would love to see the Bengals win it. I really would. I would love to see the Bengals win it. But I would just as equally like to see the Rams, to be honest.
And Aaron Donald's from the same neighborhood as me back in Pittsburgh. So I was like, yeah, I'm going with the
You ain't gonna get no interview. I just want Odell's Lockett to be true.
Who do you want?
His Lockett?
Yeah, Odell's Lockett is going to prophesy.
Oh my God. Like, are you on the other side of this? Like, he keep bringing up this Lockett, Malcolm. You ain't going to say nothing about this?
I know.
This man bringing up this Lockett.
Because he got it. And if he don't got it.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? You know how many niggas got a Lockett on that field?
Who? A Lockett? Not a Lockett.
Grandma in there.
Ain't no Lockett. Yeah. They might got chains and all that. No Lockett. Odell got a Lockett.
I bet you.
With his face in it in the Rams Super Bowl victory year. It's prophesized.
Oh my God.
So
let me prophesy. Let me prophesy some shit.
I'm going Rams Bengals 3, and I'm prophesizing that Money Mac McPherson is gonna miss a field goal.
Nope. So you just got ridiculous.
Evan McPherson is gonna miss a field goal.
I
hope it's not the game winner.
He might crack. Yeah.
I hope it's not the game winner. But Evan McPherson, I'm writing it down. What'd I say? Rams 3? Yeah, Rams 3. Evan.
Oh, I thought you was going with Malcolm. I thought you was going Rams 6.
No, I'm going 3 because Evan Money Mac is going to miss a field goal. Yeah, and I just wrote it. Who's our hit the showers? Well, who's y'all's hit the showers?
I'm going to hit the showers to the owner of the Dolphins that sent Brian Flores them texts talking about lose them games, and I'll give you that $100,000 a game.
What's he got hit the showers. You ain't got no name. Put a name on it. I don't got no name.
Let me see.
I think everybody's hit the showers should be them paying to. You know what? My hit the showers is unrelated to that. I was going to go with that, but
Stephen Ross.
My hit the showers.
Stephen Ross hit the showers.
My hit the showers. My hit the showers is the Browns. Get your organization together. It's the off season. Make some good moves. Make some decent moves. Make it make sense. Like, get your shit together. Like, stop. Release Baker. Trade. Do what you got to do. Send his ass back to Texas. Send him home. Get Deshaun Watson. Let me see something. Like, mix it up. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, I do not think he'll be able to bring Devontae Adams with him. Go ahead and get Deshaun Watson and Devontae Adams. Like, I want to see those type of moves. Get your shit together, Browns.
Listen, I can't argue with that, and all I will say is my team included. But since we're escalating each hit the showers, I'm going to have to give it to the NFL as well.
Yeah.
Not as well, but to escalate from a person to a team to the entire fucking organization.
The whole thing.
Fuck the Rooney Rule. Fuck all that. Like, it's not working, and clearly you're not trying to make it work. Something needs to give. Something gotta give.
Right. Something's gotta give. Yeah. At this point.
Something.
Hey, you know what? I think in reference to what you said, I think this is the start of, like, out with the old, in with the new. And I feel like that goes for the Super Bowl. This is why the Bengals might win. Like, I just feel like, it's just like the traditions and stuff that we're used to. Out with the old, in with the new. The shit, the stunts that the NFL were pulling, I just feel like it's a new day, and that's what that represents. So maybe that goes for everything. New is a new dynasties, could be the Bengals, shit like that. Like, out with the old, in with the new.
Listen, If it is, it is. But I agree. Ogard got to learn when to sit down at some point.
Right.
Let them
We need
young
it.
bucks stand up. And that don't even go for athletic sports. That go in general. So, shit. Does anybody got anything to take us out?
Like, subscribe, share.
All that.
Be back on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Don't listen to that nigga. He's not in charge of scheduling.
Hey,
He'll tell you he'll be on Saturday and it'll be me by myself.
I've been on the past couple Saturdays. Yeah.
Well, tune in and see if he's telling the truth.
I'm one. Hey, give me something. I'm 1 for 2.
Can we do a pick'ems on that?
I'm 50%.
Right.
I'm picking he won't be there.
I'm picking.
No, I'm gonna be here, and we snowed in. We're supposed to be snowed in, y'all. So you know.
No, well, I hope we not snowed in on Saturday still. I hope we.
Right. This is your. You ain't up there this weekend.
Nah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Where you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
where was you supposed to be,
Saturday?
Every other weekend, I usually go up to Indiana to my in-laws.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
them.
a nice ass drive, isn't that like a 3-hour drive?
No, it's 90 minutes where we go. Cliff's been up there with me.
Yeah,
it's 90 minutes.
But we'll catch y'all, motherfuckers. We out of here.
Peace,
love, all that.
Man, I'm going to.